Hey everyone, before we dive in, here's something really cool. You're listening to an episode created almost entirely by AI. From the script to the voice, this is part of the AI Takeover series by Blockchain DXB, where we explore what's possible when humans hand over the mic to machines. There's little to no human involvement, and that's what makes this episode so powerful. Welcome to the future of content creation. Let's get into it. This episode is powered by Amana, the region's first and fastest-growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. Whether you're looking to invest in U.S. stocks like Apple or Tesla, or MENA giants like Adinoc or Salik, Amana puts the financial market at your fingertips. You also get access to gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, and commodities. With over 375 assets to choose from, they've got the largest crypto selection in the region. And listen, guys, if you want to build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day and want to automate your investing, just set your monthly budget, choose your preferred categories, and let Amana do the rest. No fees, no lockups, and 100% customizable. Even better, funding your account is frictionless, and funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even your crypto wallet. No friction, no hassle. And if you get stuck, Amana offers 24/6 real human customer support and personalized sales assistance. Because you're part of the Blockchain DXB community, you get an exclusive offer. Register with the code BlockchainDXB and make at least one trade to receive a $100 trading bonus credited to your account the following month. So what are you waiting for? Download the Amana app now. The link and code are in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB is proud to be the official media partner for one of the biggest blockchain events of the year, the Blockchain Futurist Conference. For the first time ever, North America's leading crypto event is heading to the United States, taking place at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida. Alongside it is ETH Women, happening simultaneously. Expect multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, tech demos, metaverse experiences, and more, all under one roof. It's where the smartest minds in blockchain, crypto, and AI will converge. Get 25% off tickets by using the code DXB25. And yes, I'll be there with exclusive live coverage, behind-the-scenes interviews, and spotlight features on groundbreaking projects. Mark your calendars, November 5th and 6th, 2025. Visit futuristconference.com and use code DXB25. Link is in the show notes. Next up, Blockchain DXB has two more interesting partnership news to announce. First up, with Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Blockchain DXB is an official media partner of Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. Future Blockchain Summit is one of the biggest and oldest blockchain summit taking place in Dubai, going back to almost a decade, 2017 to be precise. The event takes place between October 12th to 15th at Dubai Harbour. This is where blockchain meets fintech to redefine the future of finance. 250 plus world-class speakers, 1,200 plus investors, live demos, product launches, and the exclusive invite-only GITEX Digital Assets Forum, all under one roof. From Web3 pioneers to fintech leaders shaping payments, banking, insurtech, AI, and DeFi, this event brings the entire ecosystem together. Startups, this is your launchpad. Get in front of top VCs, accelerators, and industry leaders. For blockchain and fintech companies, this is where connections turn into partnerships and dreams turn into exits. Register today at futureblockchainsummit.com. Don't just watch the future unfold, own your space in it. Remember, Future Blockchain Summit and Fintech Surge 2025. The registration link is in the show notes below, and see you at Dubai Harbour. Second partnership news kicking off from today is with the leading Bitcoin event organizers on this planet. And this year, Bitcoin Asia is taking things to another level. Bitcoin Asia are hosting a massive gathering this August in Hong Kong, and Blockchain DXB is proud to be an official media partner of Bitcoin Asia 2025. Taking place this August in Hong Kong, Bitcoin Asia is the region's premier Bitcoin gathering, where builders, investors, and innovators meet. It's really an honor for Blockchain DXB to be associated with Bitcoin Asia. Now at this event, expect powerful keynotes, bold conversations, and a headlining session with none other than Eric Trump. He will be sharing his vision for Bitcoin's long-term potential, its role in global finance, and Asia's massive impact on adoption, and a lot more. So listen up, guys. From infrastructure to regulation, privacy tools to lightning development, Bitcoin Asia connects global Bitcoin communities and drives innovation across cultures and markets. And as part of this partnership, you can register for the Bitcoin Asia using the code DXB. All the detail are in the show notes below. If Bitcoin's in your blood, this is your event. So, register today at asia.btc and don't forget to use code DXB for 10% off your tickets. Bitcoin Asia 2025, Hong Kong is calling. Be part of the future of Bitcoin. Next up, Advanced Media is the largest distributor of professional video, photography, cinema, and broadcast accessories in the Middle East. They represent over 100 major brands, including DJI, Hasselblad, Red, and Rode. The mic I'm using to record this? Sponsored by Advanced Media. But what really sets them apart is their commitment to purpose. People, planet, and prosperity. That's not just branding, it's their actual business model. They've partnered with SAE Institute in Dubai to offer scholarships to students pursuing a bachelor's degree in filmmaking, each worth AED 50,000. They also run regular workshops, training programs, and tech showcases across the region. For more info, visit amt.t, that's amt.tv. Finally, let's talk about something every crypto investor should take seriously: security. And that's where Ledger comes in. Ledger is one of the most trusted names in crypto security. Their hardware wallets, like the Nano S Plus and Nano X, keep your assets safe by storing your private keys offline. That means you're protected against hacks, malware, and phishing attempts that can compromise online wallets. The company is headquartered in Paris and is constantly innovating. Their team works with world-class security researchers and regularly tests their own products for vulnerabilities. It's why Ledger wallets are used by millions around the world. Using a hardware wallet isn't just smart, it's essential. If you're serious about crypto, it's time to stop relying on centralized exchanges or browser wallets. Click the link in the show notes to order your Ledger wallet and support this podcast at the same time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today is October 24th, 2025. And wow, the sources we've got stacked up today really paint a picture. Crypto's right at this crazy intersection, isn't it? Macroeconomics going wild, geopolitical shifts, and big tech moves.
Absolutely. It feels like everything's converging at once.
Yeah.
And our job today really is to cut through all that noise, find the actual signals, the political stuff, the tech stuff that's, really shaping things and pointing towards where this might all go, especially with mainstream adoption.
Yeah, because this week looks set to be incredibly volatile. Maybe one of the most volatile all year, our sources suggest.
It really does, and it kicks off, well, right now.
Exactly. We have to start with the economic data dropping today. The market seems almost frozen, just waiting for these numbers. We're talking about the September CPI data, the inflation numbers.
And what's really interesting, or maybe concerning, depending on how you look at it, is why it's dropping today. Our sources are pretty clear this was delayed, right, because of the U.S. government shutdown.
That's right, delayed from earlier in the month. And the urgency now seems pretty intense.
It does. The sources highlight that the Social Security Administration apparently needs this data, like yesterday, to get benefit payments calculated correctly and on time.
So it's almost like, shutdown or not, this has to come out. Essential services depend on it. Forget market timing. This is operational necessity.
Precisely. Which focuses the market even more intensely on the outcome. And our analysis points towards three possibilities, but there's definitely a favorite, a most likely scenario based on the sources.
Okay, so what are we looking at?
Well, possibility one, inflation is basically in line, maybe a tiny pickup. Sources say this is least likely and might mean prices dip a bit.
Okay.
Possibility two, it comes in hotter than expected, also seen as less likely, but that would almost certainly mean prices fall.
Right, the bad news scenario.
Exactly. And then there's possibility three, the one getting the most attention, cooler than expected inflation, things slowing down.
Ah, the optimistic case. Cheaper borrowing, potentially more risk take.
That's the one. And if that happens, all eyes immediately swivel to next week, Wednesday, October 29th. Jerome Powell and the Fed interest rate decision.
Because cooler CPI data today would basically pave the way for other rate cut, wouldn't it?
That's the strong anticipation in our source stack, yeah.
Right.
Probably another 25 basis points cut following the reduction they made at the last FOMC meeting. It fuels that whole narrative.
Okay, but before we move on from the macro stuff, there's a pretty serious note of caution in the sources about this data itself, isn't there, about its integrity?
Yes, and we need to be really clear here. We're reporting what the sources claim, not endorsing it. They specifically allege there were issues, potential manipulations, let's say, of Bureau of Labor Statistics data under the previous administration.
The Biden administration specifically. And they mention a BLS chairperson being fired over it once President Trump found out.
That's the claim detailed in the source material. And it leads them to stress, really stress, that the only place to trust for the actual numbers is the BLS website itself, www.bls.gov.
So it's a warning, essentially, don't trust secondary reports. Go to the source, especially given these allegations. It adds another layer of uncertainty, you know.
It absolutely does. Relying on one delayed, potentially contentious government number, it shows how fragile things feel right now.
Okay, so that's the shaky economic ground. Let's pivot to maybe firmer or at least more positive ground for the crypto industry. A big political development this week.
Huge. The pardon of Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the founder and former CEO of Binance.
This is significant. I mean, CZ pled guilty, paid that enormous fine, what was it, over $4 billion?
Yeah.
All under the previous administration.
Exactly. So President Trump issuing this pardon, it sends a massive signal. It's less about CZ, the individual, and maybe more about a shift in how the current administration views the industry, an alignment, perhaps.
And CZ's reaction seemed to confirm that interpretation. He posted on X, thanking Trump for, I think the words were fairness, innovation, as well as justice.
That's right. And crucially, he added a pledge, didn't he, to help make the U.S. the crypto capital of this world and push Web3 forward globally. That's basically saying, okay, we're bringing our focus back here.
Yeah, bringing that institutional weight back. And the current Binance CEO, Richard Teng, echoed that sentiment too, right, on LinkedIn.
He did. He said it was more than an individual story, framing it as reflecting the whole industry's journey. Again, positioning crypto as, a key part of future finance, not just some regulatory headache.
So how did the market take it? Was there a big reaction?
Positive, yeah, but maybe not explosive. Binance's own coin, BNB, jumped about 5.16% in 24 hours, which is decent, obviously.
And BNB is a big one. It leads the pack for what some data providers call made-in-China coins, coins with origins or major operations there. Huge market cap, like $156 billion.
It is. But you have to ask, is a 5% bump the real story here? Or is it the political signal that carries more weight long term? I'd lean towards the latter.
Yeah, I think I agree. It feels more structural.
Especially when you pair it with other things mentioned in the studies, like new sanctions on Russia coming from Trump and Scott Bessent. It shows Washington is actively engaging, setting directions.
True. But even with the CZ pardon, that underlying anxiety hasn't totally vanished. We're still waiting on news about U.S.-China tariffs after Trump meets the Chinese president on the 31st.
And that uncertainty is definitely casting a shadow. You see it in the sentiment metrics.
Right, the fear and greed index. Still stuck in fear.
Yep, sitting at 28. Our analysis ties that directly to the tariff situation. People are just waiting, holding back a bit.
Okay, so now we get to what the source is called the really weird matrix. Prices have actually crept up a bit. Bitcoin's around $110,000, up slightly over the week.
Despite huge money flowing out of the big crypto ETFs.
Yeah, explain that. It makes no sense on the face of it. Bitcoin ETFs saw outflows. Ethereum ETFs saw outflows.
Yeah.
What was the total?
Over $61 million combined. Usually when institutions pull that kind of money out, you'd expect prices to take a hit, a significant hit.
So what's the theory? The source mentioned something about the data maybe not being real-time, using Farsight Investors data via Grok.
Yeah, Grok being the AI platform used to analyze the flow data quickly. So one theory is just lag. Maybe the selling happened earlier and the price impact is delayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems a bit convenient. Is there another explanation?
Well, we could speculate a bit beyond the source here, but perhaps retail investors are just holding strong and buying the dips, counteracting the institutional selling. Or maybe, and this seems plausible, big players are doing deals off exchange, OTC, which wouldn't show up in these specific ETF flow numbers.
Okay. So the ETF flows might not be telling the whole story right now.
It seems like it. The market's acting as if those outflows aren't the main driver. For now, anyway.
Gotcha. And the overall market stats look, well, stable, I guess. Global cap around $3.79 trillion, decent volume, Bitcoin dominance strong.
Yeah, Bitcoin's at 57.3% dominance. Ethereum's holding around 12.4%. What caught my eye, though, was the stablecoin volume, around $129.57 billion.
Okay, and what's the take on that?
The source material actually expressed some discontent. The feeling was that in volatile times like these, when prices are shaky, people usually pile into stablecoins for safety. That volume arguably should be much higher, maybe double.
Interesting. So the fact that it isn't higher suggests maybe mainstream users, the consumer segment, aren't really engaging with this volatility yet. They're not rushing for the exits into stablecoins.
That could be one interpretation, yeah. And it leads us perfectly into what might be the most important underlying shift happening right now. The big push towards consumer-focused DeFi.
Yes, the Aave Labs acquiring stable finance news. This one really stood out.
It did. Our stores called it bizarre, and you can see why. Aave is this huge, established, decentralized finance protocol. Stable Finance is a consumer app known for making stablecoin savings super simple.
Right, it flips the usual script. Normally, it's the big centralized company, like Microsoft buying GitHub, scooping up the cool decentralized tech. Here, DeFi is buying the user-friendly app.
Exactly, and that's the real light bulb moment, I think. It's like the core DeFi players are finally saying, okay, our tech is amazing, but frankly, it's way too complicated for most people.
So Aave is buying stable finance, not just for the tech, but for their know-how in user experience, to make DeFi products people can actually use without needing a PhD in crypto.
Precisely. The stated goal is to bridge that gap, make on-chain finance part of everyday life. And the fact that Stable's founder, Mario Bakshakarba, is joining Aave as director of product, that shouts strategic pivot. They're serious about UX now.
This feels like a direct response to that low stablecoin volume point we just talked about. If you want mass adoption, you have to make it easy. Forget self-custody complexity, forget gas fees. Just give people a simple, high-yield savings option on-chain.
That seems to be the play. Make it accessible, make it simple, and you need the talent to build that.
Which ties into the education piece too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Drawn DAO, partnering with university blockchain clubs Columbia and Harvard, mentioned specifically.
Yeah, through their Tron Academic Initiative, supporting student projects, advancing blockchain education. It's about building that pipeline of developers and product managers who can actually create and manage these simpler consumer-facing applications.
Okay, shifting gears globally now, but still on that theme of building future infrastructure.
Yeah,
The Middle East is really active, particularly with AI and automation.
definitely. We saw news out of Dubai, this Lepan information group launching. Their whole focus is helping brands get noticed by AI assistants, ChatGPT, Gemini, Mistral, etc.
Right. Not optimizing for Google search anymore, but optimizing for AI answers. Getting into those answer boxes, earning authority signals for the AI, that's a forward-looking strategy.
It really is. Thinking about content discovery in a post-search world. And then in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, you have UiPath opening an office.
Big automation player, UiPath. And this is tied into Saudi's Vision 2030 plan.
Directly. Accelerating automation and AI adoption across the country. And they're not just setting up shop, they're actively training people.
Yeah, collaborating with the Saudi Digital Academy. There's a boot camp running right now through November, specifically training young professionals in these skills, building the local talent base.
It's a serious commitment to embedding this tech into their future economy.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this all together. It feels like we're watching two completely different stories play out at the same time.
I think that's exactly right. On one hand, you've got this intense short-term economic storm brewing, the delayed CPI data today, the Fed decision next week, extreme volatility potential.
But on the other hand, you have these really powerful foundational shifts happening. The political nod with the CZ pardon, showing institutional acceptance, maybe even encouragement.
And critically, that clear pivot by major players like Aave, admitting complexity as a barrier and actively acquiring the expertise to build simple, consumer-friendly DeFi, aiming squarely at the mainstream.
So the tension for you, the listener, to watch is fascinating. The political and tech groundwork for mass adoption is being laid, maybe more clearly than ever before. But the economic ground underneath it all is trembling.
Yeah, the question is, can that push for political stability and tech simplification win out? Will it be enough to bring in that next wave of users, the ones who just want things to work easily, even if the wider market is going crazy?
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Watch what happens after the Fed decision next Wednesday, assuming we get that anticipated rate cut.
Yeah.
Where does the confirmation signal appear?
Right. Does the institutional money flow back into ETFs, signaling stability is returning? Or does that stablecoin volume stay stubbornly low, telling us consumers are still on the sidelines, still wary, meaning that a Trav pivot towards simplicity needs to happen even faster? That reaction could tell us a lot about DeFi's real path forward.